What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. I just wanted to let you guys know that I do apologize for my video quality. I am recording all of my videos on an iPhone X right now, and I don't have like any fancy cameras. I don't have a Canon, a Sony. I don't have any fancy cameras right now, any fancy lighting. Basically, I'm starting this YouTube channel from scratch. I do appreciate everybody who does take the time to watch my videos, which, according to my last video, only 4 people viewed it so far. Like I said, the quality of my videos, though, are not the greatest. So first and foremost, I definitely want to apologize for the quality of my videos, the sound of my videos, the picture, just everything. Over time, I definitely plan on investing in more expensive equipment, better equipment, and I do appreciate anybody who does like my videos, who watches my videos, and who enjoys them, even if the quality isn't the greatest. But basically, what I wanted to talk about today was weekly advice that I wanted to start doing. So I wanted to create this series called Weekly Advice, and this is actually going to be episode 1. So for everybody who's joining me today, thank you. I appreciate it. Now let's get this video started. Now for starters, I just want to talk about the type of advice that I'm going to be giving is all life-based. It's going to be motivation. It's going to be talking about fitness. It's going to be talking about careers, relationship advice, just basically anything that I've ever gone through in my life, finances, financing a car, trying to get a house, renting, just all that stuff. That's what these videos are going to be about. So if you guys are interested in learning about all of that, then just hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification bell. So what I wanted to talk about today in the very first episode of my weekly advice, that I wanted to start giving is I want to talk about indecisiveness with trying to choose the right career path. That is something that I am truly going through right now. Not truly, but like honestly going through right now. I'm 24 and I still don't have my act together. The first piece of advice that I could give you, though, is definitely try and experience college. I experienced college. I went for, I think, like 4 semesters. And man, I took advantage of the loan money that I got approved for. And I mean, of course, when $5,000 hit your bank account, the only thing you can think of is like, dang, man, I'm rich, you know. And when I was 19 at the time, 19, 20, 21, all the like those times when I was going to college, $5,000 in your bank account, or it was between like $4,000 to like $5,000. That was a lot of money to me between 19 to 21. So of course, I didn't take school seriously. The only thing that I was thinking about was how I had the most money that I've ever seen in my life. And what ended up happening was I actually ended up spending that money within like a month. Every single semester that I would get it, I would spend it in like a month. And that was very irresponsible on my part. I should not have done that. But like I said, I was just trying to live it up. But the first piece of advice that I can give you guys is, if you do go to college, don't make the same mistake that I did. And this still pertains to trying to choose the right career path, because obviously a lot of parents and teachers encourage their kids and students to go to college to further their education so that they can make something better out of their lives. However, they don't encourage trades. They don't really even encourage enlisting in the military, which I may even touch up on later in this video. But when I do encourage everybody, or at least some people, to experience college. And I mean, if high school wasn't for you, then I don't recommend going to college, because college is a lot harder. It's all about time management, and that's really when you're an adult. That's really when you learn to be on your own. You learn how to pay bills. You learn how to pay for things yourself unless you kind of had to do that in high school anyways. But definitely experience college. Try and choose a major or even a minor that you believe you will enjoy. And if college isn't for you, then the second thing that I would suggest is looking into trades. Trades are something that I've looked into myself because trades actually pay really well, especially electricians and plumbers. They make pretty good money, at least in Colorado. And I feel like a lot of trades are definitely overlooked or they're underlooked. Like, they just do not get enough recognition as they should. A lot of people look at trades like, oh man, look at this plumber, he's trying to fix this toilet because it's clogged, or this sink because it's clogged. Or look at this electrician, he's working out in the cold and he's just messing with wires. And I almost feel like trades definitely are not appreciated enough. I'm actually currently working a trade right now, a tree trade. I trim trees and I remove trees for a living. And I can honestly say that it is the best job that I've ever had. I would actually say it's the second best job. The first best job I've ever had was actually working for my uncle, because it was a pretty easy job and he was a lenient boss and it just made work enjoyable. But definitely that's the second piece of advice that I'll give you is look into trades, and don't be ashamed to be an electrician or to be a plumber or to work construction or to even work in trees like what I'm doing right now. Don't be ashamed of who you are or what you want to become. Definitely take pride in what you do, and don't be embarrassed. Just work your hardest, you know what I'm saying? And the third piece of advice that I can give you guys is to look into the military as well. Now, obviously right now we have some issues going on with Iran, and we're actually at war again, or we've been at war. But I mean, look into the National Guard, or look into the Army Reserves, or basically any reserve branch in the military, because you don't necessarily have to serve in the military full time. You can serve part time, and you can even get college paid for, and you can get a ton of great military benefits like the VA loan, and you can make an additional couple $100s a month just by being a reservist or a guardsman. So it's definitely something that I would recommend that you do if you don't really know what you want to do. Look into part-time military service, especially if you're an indecisive person like me. Look into part-time military service. That way it's something that you do 1 week in a month, and then you have an annual training that's 2 weeks out of the year. And the reason why I know about this is because I've done my research every single year, at least once a year, on about whether or not I actually want to enlist in the National Guard or the Army Reserves. I've never followed through with it because I would always overthink and be too scared to go to boot camp. But I definitely recommend it's something that a lot of you other guys and girls do. Especially if you don't really know what you want to do, enlist in the military, kind of take some time off after you get home from boot camp and advanced into AIT training, and kind of just go from there, And the third, that was the third. I think the fourth piece of advice that I can give you guys is after you graduate from high school, take some time off. Take a year off from school, maybe even take a year off from work. Just kind of take some time, whether it be a couple months or a year, to think about what you truly want to do with your life. Maybe travel a little bit, and I mean, obviously you'd have to work for that, but to save up money to be able to go travel. But something I'm trying to say is take some time to kind of discover yourself, take some time off, and if you do have to work, then work, and just save up some money, travel, even see if you want to live somewhere else, and maybe there's more opportunities somewhere else. I mean, that's something that my dad encouraged me to do, was to take some time off after high school, not jump right into college, but I did the exact opposite. And obviously I had my summer break, and then come August, I started college. And I did okay my first semester, but my second semester I failed every class except for one. So I definitely encourage you to take some time off if you can. And I say that so you can think about, because this is about trying to choose the right career path if you're indecisive like me. and I am extremely indecisive, but so take some time off if you need to. Another piece of advice that I could give you is to write pros and cons of like certain careers that you've shown interest in. You know, if there's been say you wanted to be an EMT, or say that you wanted to be a police officer, but you don't really know which one you want to do. Something I would recommend is writing a pros and cons list of both careers, and just kind of go from there. You know what I'm saying? Do your research, see the benefits of being a police officer, and see the benefits of being an EMT. Definitely do your research. Write the pros and cons list out, see if it's something you want to do, and if not, then kind of move on to something else and write a pros and cons list for that. Last but not least, when you're very indecisive and you don't know what you want to pursue as a career, I don't recommend applying at multiple jobs, working somewhere for a couple months or maybe even a year, just like working somewhere for a short period of time, and then quitting and then trying to work somewhere else thinking that maybe that job is going to be better and it might be the career you want to do. I've actually made that mistake. When I was going through phases where I didn't know what I wanted to pursue as a career, I was actually applying for multiple jobs, and I was thinking to myself, well, you know, if this job gets back to me and I end up getting the interview and I get hired on, then maybe I can actually make a career out of it. And I've actually thought about that with banking. Like, I would apply at a bunch of random banks for teller positions, and I would tell myself I'm going to work my way up, and I'm going to make good money down the road. But then I was like thinking about it. It's like I literally have no reason to work at a bank because it's something I don't want to do, and I know that it's something I don't want to enjoy. So this last piece of advice that I'll give you is probably the most important, because I definitely don't think that you should apply to multiple jobs, see what you like, and then quit thinking that, you know, working somewhere else every couple months or every couple years is going to solve all your issues, because it's really not. And like I said, I've made that mistake before. Now, going on about myself, you know, with this whole indecisiveness thing, I don't know if it's like some sort of mental disorder. I actually was kind of worried for a minute, and I even Googled it. And I was like, is indecisiveness normal? You know, like, is it normal to not know what you want to do with your life? And I read one article where it actually said that it was like a mental disorder. And I was like, I don't think it's a mental disorder. I think it's just realizing that you have a lot of potential, but you almost feel like overwhelmed because you don't exactly know what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Because there's so many different options, and that's kind of how I feel. You know what I'm saying? And right now, what I've kind of slimmed down to is trying to become a personal trainer. Now, a lot of people, they only do personal training part-time. They don't make good money at it unless you're like a celebrity personal trainer, or you even have your own YouTube channel, and you end up getting kind of big, like Brandon Harding or Christian Guzman. And that, you know, and that's something I've come to realize just over the past couple of days, that I actually do want to be a personal trainer. Even if I do have to work part-time at first, I definitely plan on working my way up. Like, I want to create my own merchandise. I have this YouTube channel, obviously, and I want to be able to definitely make it in the health and fitness field. But sometimes what you wanted to do has been sitting right in front of you your entire life, or for a couple of years, but you just never realized it. And with me, when it came to health and fitness, I realized, man, you know, I've quit many jobs. I've only stayed at jobs for a couple months, sometimes, you know, shorter than that, like a couple weeks. And I know that sounds bad, but the one thing that I've never given up on work-wise has been going to the gym. So that's when I realized that's what I want to do as a career. That's what I want to do for the rest of my life. And I am married, and eventually my wife and I do want to have kids. So obviously being a personal trainer, it does sound a little bit far-fetched in some instances. because you do need to be able to make the money, and I know that in that particular field it is hard to make good money, and it's hard to even keep clients sometimes, I think. But if you really put your mind to it, you could really do anything that you want to do. But anyways, that is Weekly Advice, episode 1, Indecisiveness and how to choose the right career path. Thank you guys for watching this video. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys again.